What's up, y'all? It's Alice Needy Eats, and today I will be telling you all about the cruel and unethical things that we had to undergo in jail, the unfair treatment, and just the stuff that's really effed up. And the jail that I will be referring to is the jail in Clarksville, Tennessee, Montgomery County Jail. This was the year of 2023. Between the end of 2022 and to the beginning of 2023 is whenever I was there. So I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. All right. So the first thing on this list was we have to use the same cup, drinking cup, and spoon for the entirety of our stay. And it isn't washed or sanitized. They never collect them. They never wash them. None of that. And we aren't even given dish soap or rag to clean it with. So that really is unsanitary, and it causes a lot of bacterial buildup. So that same cup, it's also used for taking your medicine. And that same cup is used for if you need to, rinse your mouth out after you brush your teeth. That's number one. From November 27th to December 26th, we ate the same breakfast every day, which didn't include all the nutrients our bodies needed, like fruit. We don't get fruit at all to this day. They do not serve fruit in Clarksville, Montgomery County Jail. And we were served either peanut butter and jelly, boiled eggs, powdered milk, or bologna every morning, which wasn't healthy options. It wasn't. And this was every day, mind you, in a sack lunch. And we'd be waking up like a crazy time in the morning to eat this breakfast. All right. Next, it would take weeks to see a mental health or medical provider. They say refused treatment, but never came and got me for my appointment. So they were purposefully not transporting me to my appointments that I needed to go to. And they tried to call it refused treatments instead of actually coming to get me. All right, next up. From December 27th to around December 20th, I only got out of my cell 1 hour each day for a 24-hour day for recreation. We had 1 hour or less to shower and use the phones. Only certain days we could go outside. We weren't able to get adequate enough amount of natural vitamin D that the body needed from December 20th till the day I left. When I was transferred out of MedPod, I only got 2 hours at a 24-hour day, which was called the aggravated pod for those who had aggravated charges. We were labeled aggravated pod because of our charges. We were segregated from others who had different offenses and charges. So we weren't allowed to have 2 hours extra time like others in the jail could. There's people who got 4 hours. And this is just based strictly off our charges, not our behavior. And there was times that hours went by that would allow time for us to have extra recreation when no one was out on the floor. Meaning like there's times where there's nobody, nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. Everybody's in their little cell, their small cell, and like we could be out on recreation, you know what I'm saying? As long as we keep a good behavior and everything. They're not doing rounds anywhere else. They just refused to let us out of our cells. They got us locked into the cell when we could be out. They would also cut meds given out into our time. So like if I had recreation between 8 and 9 and the medical people came in to give medicine at like 8:15, we have to go get locked back into our cell, mind you. And our time would continue running. Yes, they would say, oh, your time stops. No, they didn't stop the time. So 15 minutes subtracted from our time. We didn't even get, even if we didn't even get medication, still took out from our time. There was an instance where 2 hours went by before I was given toilet paper. I asked for it multiple times. And the final response from the CO was, I don't control how y'all use it, and still didn't issue our toilet paper. Meaning he didn't control how we use our toilet paper. And we had to ask a female CO to please get us some, and she finally did. We couldn't use the restroom during this time, and other times on recreation, when we asked to use the bathroom, we were forced to wait 10 to 20 minutes for a guard to pop our door open to be able to use the restroom. Then, when we are done, more time is purposefully being deducted from our rec time because the guard intentionally doesn't want to deal with us. So, when we were on rec, we need to use the bathroom. We have to use the bathroom. Oh, well, 10, 20 minutes pop by before a guard comes and lets us in our room so we can use the restroom. Then they want to drag their feet, getting us out of the room. They make us shut our door all the way when we use the bathroom. So we can't get back out for recreation in time. It's pretty much like a punishment for using the bathroom during rec. So the water to drink, the drinking water was not clean. There was times that there were black stuff coming out of other people's waters. And we are forced to drink from the same place we wash our hands and use the bathroom. I don't care what a person did. That's inhumane. We have to drink out of the same station, the same item, whatever you want to call it, the same thing that our toilet does on. Here's the toilet and here's the drinking water. It's the same thing we have to drink out of. We have to use that water to drink our medication, wash our hands, brush our teeth, use the bathroom. That speaks for itself. What does it say? So during the wintertime, I have low iron. So during the wintertime, there was an ice storm, December 23rd through the 24th. We were forced to sleep in cold temps in the jail, and it wasn't until the 25th or the 26th when they issued extra blankets. They responded, the temps are being monitored, but our body parts were very cold still. And then there were numerous leaks in the cells where there were water leaks all over the rec floor and everything from the ceiling. And at this time, we had to double up socks, sometimes triple up. We had to use our towel. We had to use everything we could just to stay warm. And that is just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So the food was disgusting. It was served cold, undercooked often. We didn't have a proper balance of our food pyramid. They refused to give us fruit. They said it isn't allowed in the facility. I put a grievance for that in December. The food was terrible. At one point, it started to get a little more seasoned, but it was pretty bad. So when I wrote a letter to the medical team about certain food allergies and diet concerns, they returned it with a no, a big NO in red, and ignored my concerns. A nurse supposedly had done that. So, not sure what no is supposed to mean to that, but yeah. So, I also expressed to the medical provider, a bald man, that I had eczema, however you say it, the eczema. I've had it since I was a kid. It's where your body is dry. You have dry patches of skin in certain areas of your body and everything. So I told him I have eczema. I told him my skin was itching. It was burning. And I was in the medical pod at this time. He told me since he couldn't see blood, He wouldn't prescribe me anything or give me lotion since it can be purchased on the commissary, and I was forced to wait 2 weeks to get the lotion, and it didn't help. It was very watered down lotion. It wasn't the medicated lotion that people need for their eczema. And during that time, I couldn't even shower because if I showered, the water was so harsh and hot and like just harsh water, it would hurt. It would mess my skin up more and it would dry my skin out more. So I could only take like sponge baths in my cell. So I didn't get any of my eczema cream that I really needed for my body during that time either. I have acute scoliosis in my back, and I was forced to sleep on the floor for 2 weeks because they moved me into med pod on the top bunk, and I couldn't climb up and down due to my back pain because I had been assaulted before I went to jail. So I was in a lot of pain in jail, and I couldn't climb, and they didn't move me into a different cell with the bottom bunk. So I had to put my mattress on the floor and sleep on the ground. They never moved me into a cell with the bottom bunk. Empty until my 3rd week. Here on the 2nd week, my cellmate moved out, so I was able to get off of the floor. And then after that, I was pretty much in a cell by myself for the rest of my time there in the aggravated pod. So the drink mix contained some kind of word that causes cancer. I can't remember what the word is, but if I do get a chance to ask one of my friends that's in jail, I will. And I'll comment that later so you guys can know, or I'll make a TikTok about it. But it was this little yellowish, orangish drink mix. And it stains your fingers. So I know for a fact, like, it was all bad. We're moving on from the drink mix. So they forced me to give up my medical mat in order to move pods for extra time on the rec. But there was some people of the other race who kept theirs, and that just bothered me. So I had to give up my medical mat just so I can get extra rec time. Just so I can get extra rec time. They said you have to give up your mat. Even though you have scoliosis, we're going to need that mat back because you want extra rec time. What? Make it make sense. Moving on. We're constantly facing sleep deprivation. We face so much of this. Due to the lights not being cut off until midnight, occasionally later, much later. The guards are up laughing and talking loudly during sleep hours. We are not able to get rest. You're constantly coming in checking doors, which, okay, whatever. You're going to check doors, you got to check the doors. But there are times where people are talking loudly during the sleep hours. And like I said, the lights weren't on. We were getting woken up at crazy times in the morning just to eat breakfast. I swear it was like 4 o'clock, maybe 5. It couldn't have been 5. Like, it had to be like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning just to eat breakfast. Female inmates don't get equal work opportunities as the men. We can't work in the kitchen, is what at the time we couldn't. And there was like other places within the jail or outside that we couldn't work either. And I just don't think that's right. Let's see. So we didn't have a table to eat our meals on. And the guards overheard that at the time. I remember this day. And they made a joke about it. Said, you don't eat at a table at home. Say you don't eat at a table at home. Yeah, so like I said, you know, hey, why do the guys upstairs, they get a table to eat on? Why don't we? And she or he, I can't remember, responded, you don't even eat at a table at home. You don't need no table here. All right. But I guarantee you and your family eat at a table. All right. Men in the honors pods have them. So we don't get the tables where I was at. Our mats are worn out, and it said here, it causes my scoliosis to get worse, chronic back and neck problems. We don't have any pillows in jail. We didn't get a pillow, which I think that might be for safety reasons, but at the end of the day, we need something to support our necks. Cleaning supplies. The rag is being used by every cell. We have to use the same rag. We don't get a new rag to clean our stuff up with. And it's this small, literally. And it's dirty as heck. And we don't get proper cleaning supplies to clean with. So it's not sanitary that we have to clean our cell with. We have to clean the whole cell. Like, if we want to clean our cell, we want to clean the walls. We want to clean, the walls got writing on it, gum on it. Who knows what else is on the walls. They don't even clean our cells properly. We're told we have to clean them, but then we don't even get the supplies to clean them with. That's good. That suffices to clean. Yeah, they give us a little something, but the supplies, they don't get the job done. Yeah, so like the towel that's used is like small, smelly, smell like pee, and it's very stained. So our uniforms, we get them once a week. So meaning we have to wear the same clothes every day for 7 days a week. Well, I guess 6 days or whatever you want to call it. We only get one jumpsuit. So we don't get, if something was to happen, we don't get an extra jumpsuit. And our laundry is washed in one bag and comes back wet and not clean. Our laundry comes back wet, soggy, smelly. They literally put it in like a gym bag. They tie it and they throw them in the washer. That's it. Like, we don't get the opportunity to wash our own laundry. Like, because if we did, then it wouldn't be like that. So our laundry, it comes like all balled up and just nasty because they're washing our clothes with everybody else and it's not really getting washed. It's just tumbling in there. And so a lot of times we'd have to hang our clothes out afterwards, you know what I'm saying, to dry off. Or it's best if you just hand wash your own clothes in jail, honestly. This is probably part 1. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a part 2 for the unethical treatment, because I'll have to think back and I'm going to have to write everything out. So this is going to suffice enough for now. I wanted to put this out so that way everybody could see, and that hopefully some of you guys can share this out. Some of you guys can get the word out about the cruel treatment and the mistreatment in the jail, and the mental mistreatment, the physical, the things we have to undergo. Just, it's not right. It's unethical. I feel like if you're going to take someone's freedom away, you need to make sure that they have, they have appropriate care that can be given, and you know what I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense, honestly. Like, modern day slavery, it is, in my opinion. So I just also would like you guys to please keep the people who are in jail, in prison right now, undergoing these harsh conditions. Please, please, please keep them in your prayers. Like, pray for a breakthrough, Lord. We literally, they need it, and it's rough. It's rough being there. It's not fun, by no means. And I just hope I can make a difference eventually and take this higher up. Some people can be encouraged by this and sue the jail, because I thought about it, but it's certain procedures you have to go through, and I tried to go through that. So I just hope these things get fixed, and I hope jail gets done away with eventually, honestly, altogether. I just don't feel like it's right to have someone locked up, regardless of what may have happened. So that concludes this video. I thank you guys for listening, tuning in. You guys are the best. I love you guys. Have a good night.